Hello, my name is Jalen Norris, and I will be discussing the article about segregation in schools, the New York Times editorial. The main claim for the editorial was if real change is going to be made, the mayor Bill de Blasio needs to take an actual stance. My problem with this editorial is that it puts all the pressure on Mayor Bill de Blasio to fix this problem. However, this problem needs to be solved by a community. Parents and schools need to help solve this problem, or it will never be solved. My first issue comes from private schools. The editorial never mentions private schools. While schools are a huge problem that we have, the editorial never mentions it at all. An article I found on the Washington Post states that white children are more racially isolated in private schools than public schools. Among private schools, secular private schools have the most radically diverse enrollment and the lowest level of segregation. This means that white students are isolated in private schools, meaning that there's no minorities, there's no African Americans, no Hispanics, which is a big problem. And a lot of this comes down to pay and like they can't afford it. An article I found on The Economist said, actually the New York Times, I'm sorry. According to the New York Times, for every $100 in white family wealth, black families hold just $5.04. White African American families can't afford to put their children in private schools on average. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule, but when you can't have African Americans in the private school with white children, this creates a segregation problem that is not okay. Another quote I found from the same article in the Washington Post: white and Asian students enroll in private schools at 2 times the rate of Black and Latino students. That's not okay. You know, if you have twice as many white people as you do minorities, and no, it's not okay. Private schools give richer kids an unfair advantage over poor kids, and you know, historically and statistically speaking, richer kids are white and Asian parents, and minorities are the poorer parents, and that's a sad reality we live in. But it's a reality we have to face and we have to fix. So part of the problem is private schools. So if we got rid of private schools, that would make public schools a lot better and a lot more diverse, and it could help out a lot. The second problem that the New York Times article fails to realize is the redlining issue. Redlining is defined by Webster Dictionary as redlining is a form of illegal lender discrimination premised on denying mortgage loans or restricting their number for low-income/minority communities. This means that basically African American and Hispanics can't go to nicer neighborhoods where the white people and the Asian people live. And that means that the public schools in the area are usually segregated by race. If, in school district A, if you're redlining, that's mostly minorities, and school district B, that's mostly white people. This is the number one issue when it comes to any form of desegregation, and it is not brought up once in the editorial. The number one issue in any form of desegregation is redlining, and we have to fix that. So if we want to fix this problem, we have to get rid of redlining in private schools. This is not something Mayor Bill de Blasio can do all on his own. Is he a key factor in this? 100%. He has to put in bills, and he has to form a committee that he's forming to, further this desegregation. But parents and the schools have to be part of it. If we got rid of private schools, that would help a lot with white kids integrating with more minorities, getting to know more. And if we got rid of redlining, not only would that open up the doors for young children, that would open up the doors for all minorities. It would give them better opportunity for jobs, better opportunity, less shorter routes, just better neighborhoods, better security, better everything. It could help share the wealth, and we can get the proportion of white families making $100 for every black family holding just $5.04. We could radically decrease that staggering proportion, and it's crazy. And I think those are the 2 biggest issues that the New York Times editorial did not bring up once. They focused all about what Mayor Bill de Blasio needs to do, but this is not a job for one man. This is a job for a community. We all have to come together and fix this problem. If not for us, then for our children and for a better tomorrow. Thank you.